You know, the old steam trains where you'll be shoveling coal into the fire and, you know, you're passing lovely landscape and, you know, the train's your life, right? And you put your head down and you just shovel and you shovel and you shovel. And the train speeds up and speeds up and speeds up. And before you realise it, the train's going way too quick and your life's moving way too fast. And all of life is passing you by and you've just got your head down shoveling. So by the time you put your head up and you realise, holy heck, life's moving too quick, you know, it's too late, and it's too late to safely stop. One part of you, that flight part of you, just wants you to jump and run away, but you know you're going to leave a train that's got no driver and it's going to be worse. You know, you're thinking my life could be derailed if I stay here. You feel frozen because there's no real fight that you can get into, right? It doesn't quite work like that. So at that point, you really need to reach out and ask for help and tell people. And I think doing that, acknowledging that it's hard, that you actually need some help is probably one of the first steps. In fact, it is the first step to just admitting to yourself, hey, it's you know, something's not right here. Probably in my late teens, started to really feel the effects of, you know, an overactive mind, and then when I was about 18, 19, I was first diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, or the clinical term general anxiety disorder, and clinical depression. You know, fortunately not consistently. I've had some really, really great years, but you know, through my 20s and, you know, uni days and even in the workforce, you know, I've had episodes, if you will, where it comes back and it just causes me to feel pretty ordinary. Last year I became a dad, and you start to think about the type of man and person that you want to be and the example that you want to set, and really came to an understanding that, you know, this is not something that I need to shy away from or be guilty and ashamed about. It's part of who I am. It's certainly part of our family, and you don't have it for no reason. You know, it wouldn't exist in us if it wasn't for a purpose, and often it might highlight to you that something in your life is not quite right, and you need to try and recognise what that is, and that can be quite challenging. You know, I watch this little guy, just everything's interesting, everything's curious, you know, it's innate in us, and we lose it somewhere along the way. When you start to, you know, allow yourself to be curious again, you'll start to see the magic and the wonder in the world and attribute it to your life. And, you know, if you engage in a process of inquiry, then through that process, I believe, you'll find those points where you'll connect what might have happened in the past or in the past. Okay, that makes sense for me now. It's difficult, in fact impossible, to be curious and unhappy at the same time.
Jack, where's Daddy's belly?
Yeah.
Where's Bubba's belly?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to make light of the severity and the seriousness for some people, but ideally we can get to a point where we can talk about it, and I can laugh about some of the dumb stuff that I do that kind of contributes to me feeling worse than I probably should do. You know, here's hoping, huh? Oh, bless you. Like, I was rewatching The Hobbit the other day, and I was lying awake in the middle of the night, and I was like, I wonder how old hobbits get. And I'm like, mate, they're not real. Like,